In my last video, I talked about a significant report from the Vatican that had criticized gay conversion practices. Here I want to talk about why the church has struggled so much when it comes to thinking about gender and sexuality, because these are still really big dividing lines in many parts of the Christian church. Different denominations have approached this differently, but at the heart of this decision-making and discernment around this issue is the reading of the Bible or the Holy Scriptures and also the theological tradition. And these two things are often given privileged in these conversations. We go to our scripture, we go to our theological traditions or doctrines, and we talk about this in the abstract. One of the things I really like about the Wesleyan tradition is what's called the Wesleyan quadrilateral. Now, this is nuanced and not always that simple, but I'm going to try and talk about it in a really quick way. The Wesleyan quadrilateral is scripture, tradition, reason, and experience. And what it says is that when we're theologically reflecting on something, we do listen to lived experience and our own experience, and we listen to reason. That is, we apply our critical thinking. We recognize research from other fields and other types of expertise. And so when it comes to gender and sexuality, for me as a Christian, that means listening to the insights of science and psychologists who tell us how these things work, as well as listening to the lived experience of the many, many LGBTIQ plus people of faith who know what it's like to be in the church and navigate their sexuality and their spirituality. Now, there'll be people listening who disagree, and we can have long conversations about how to interpret the Bible, and those are important conversations to have. But the main thing here is to make sure that all of us are not doing theology in the abstract, because how we think about God and our world and our very humanity is not an abstract thing. It impacts real lives. Here at the Wesley Centre, we're proud to be fully affirming of LGBTIQ people. We recognise there's a lot we can learn from listening to lived experience. I've personally learned a lot from listening to people's own experience of coming to terms with faith and sexuality, of recognising the gift that can be a gender-expansive identity. And I think this is a journey many of us in the Christian tradition are still on. But it's an exciting one, and it doesn't have to be a threat. It can be a point of flourishing and finding common ground together.